Howdy y'all, welcome to another edition of Getting Outdoors. As you can see, it's sprinkling in the middle of August. So what a better time to get out in the garden than now, rather than 100-degree weather. So the garden is still doing great. As you can see, I need to add some more extensions onto these plants, the tomato plants here, as I've done with the others here. But we're still doing good. Got the shade cloth on some of this. So still waiting for the one that I did, the staking on the tomato plant, which I've got to stake some more today. Right here, I'll stake it all, I guess, all the way up. So waiting for it to produce some tomatoes. The smaller cherry tomatoes are still doing good. Got a whole bunch right over here, as you can see. So things are doing good. But our main thing that we're going to do today is out in what I call the back garden. And in the back garden here is right in here, I'm going to put some peas and probably use maybe some of the remesh right there, or maybe some cattle panel for them to climb up on. But I've got green beans and snap peas that I'm going to put in there. If you saw the last video in the tomato cages that are not staked down but just cut from the bottom, those have held up. We've had a couple, like I said, this rain had some wind with it, and it held up just fine. So I'm real pleased with that. So let's get to work. Well, before going out to plant the peas out there, I just want to show you. So even some of the cucumber plants are still doing fine. You can see I got a nice cucumber right there. But I did want to show you, I have got these here. They're Russian cucumber plants. And there's just a few in there. And I'm going to, in here, I had some that were kind of basically dying out from the heat. I'm going to go ahead and plant right here on the cucumbers. So these are to give, they're not GMO. They're just the way that these grow is they have more female flowers than male flowers. So production should be a lot higher. So we'll see how that turns out.
Hey guys, this is what we got from in the middle of August. Our plants are still doing really good. So see you guys next time.
Okay, well, I'm doing this without a string, so my little, I guess, path here, the row to plant some of the peas, it's kind of zigzaggy in here. But when I was planting them, I made sure to plant one by one. But if they're off by a few inches, I don't think that matters. So I've got the first row done here, and then I'll move over and do the next one over here. And then, like I said, that I think will be wide enough for whatever the cattle panels or whatever else that we want to have there for them to grow up on. Okay, well, now that we have our couple of rows planted with our peas and beans, what we're going to do is, as I showed you in the tomato cages with this remesh, we're going to cut the ends so they can stick into the ground. That way I don't have to use T-posts. Maybe I will, but at least we're going to try it out. So I just use bolt cutters. That's the easiest way for me. If you have hand cutters, that's fine too. But you start at the end. And what you want to do is make sure that you're cutting this way on these. If you cut like this here, it's going to leave a little barb on the end, which could help you as an anchor. So I'm not saying that isn't necessarily the right way to do, but this one only takes one cut across. So Let's go ahead and I'll finish cutting up a couple of these. As you can see, I'll cut up a couple of them, and then we'll go and install them. Okay, so I changed my mind on the second one. We're gonna leave the barbs on this one. Remember I told you that this year is a year of experiments, so we're gonna try all kinds of different things. It's just like having our beans and peas for our fall and winter. I've never done that before. I've always done it in the spring, so we're gonna see how things go. Again, it's August 11th when we're doing this. Going from seed, usually I do transplants, so this is gonna be, again, another experiment. But let's see, so let me show you what happens when we do this side. Cutting them, what I would say, with the barb and not clean. You see this? Okay, so that's gonna like leave maybe a little anchor in there. You know, the ground is nice and soft right now, so it shouldn't be too hard to push these in with these barb. So again, I'll finish this one up and then we'll go install them. Okay, so we're about to install the remesh bars. Rain has actually stopped now. This is rain. This is not me sweating as I usually am in these videos because it's only like 78 degrees. It's awesome. So this is the remesh panel that we did with the barbs. Again, we're going to just, you know, if you can see down here, all I do is put the end down and then just step right onto it. And as you can see, it starts going right in. Now these remesh panels are quite a bit shorter than what a cattle panel is. So again, this is a year of experiments, and we're going to do a couple of these mesh panels. And as you see, all you have to do is bend it right over here. Get this end pointed down. And this one I'm just going to poke in with my hand in there, and then finish it up by putting the foot down right on it. Okay, and then we've got that right in here. So I got my 2 rows in here. As my daughter Squirrel had talked about, you know, we've talked about how to maybe winterize, or in the spring, you know, coming out of winter into the spring, how to protect the tomato plants and other things that we want to plant early, but we always get some kind of frost. So, you know, we could use these, and, you know, again, it's all about reusing stuff. So once we get through with this experiment, figure out, you know, is a cattle panel best, which I think it is, but a lot more expensive than the remesh. But, you know, an idea is that we can now use these, put plastic right over them for those frost nights, whenever that happens in the main garden. So I think that's it. We're going to keep on doing this, get the rest of the things planted, and y'all keep on getting outdoors. Don't forget to like and subscribe.